Motormouth Jenkins here, welcoming you to our brand new YouTube channel. Hope that you'll come back and see every segment each and every week, and I will share preventative maintenance tips and regularly scheduled maintenance tips for your car. So whether you know a little bit about your car or absolutely nothing, this is the channel just for you, where I share over 35 years of experience as a qualified and licensed service technician with truck and coach, light truck and passenger vehicles. Come back and visit us and tell your friends, and we'll see you each and every week right here in the Car Connection Workshop on YouTube. Hey, Car Connection friends, thanks for stopping by. We got a lot of things on the go here in the Car Connection Workshop. Your host of Car Connection for over 30 years with Car Connection Radio, Niall Motormouth Jenkins. We got restoration running now. We've replaced the intake gasket and the intake manifold, and I haven't done any final setup, checking the engine timing and setting the air fuel mixture. But I can tell you right now already, if you've watched the first episode in changing the intake manifold, it's running 200 times better than it was with that old Edo broken high-rise intake manifold. So you see the smoke is because there's some residue that's got to burn off, and I haven't really run this engine a whole lot since it's all back together. So we're just doing the warm-up right now, putting the coolant back in. We fixed the steering leak. We fixed another problem where the clutch fan was just touching the fan shroud down at the bottom, and it is an offshore aftermarket fan shroud. That's this piece here, goes all the way down and around. It had electric cooling fans on, and I am not electric cooling fan whatsoever, so I put it back the way it was born. So right now we're just burping the cooling system, warming it up a bit, and I need to put some I'm putting some Lucas transmission sealant in here because I've got a bit of a transmission leak, which I should not have, but the car has been sitting for quite some time while I've been building it. So I ran it a few times last summer, and then there was just a plethora of issues, and I just said, nuts. I'm shutting it down. I'm going to get everything fixed first, then take care of it, because we had coolant leak, power steering leak, transmission leak. It was just, and then the intake, and I'm just going, forget it. So you're going to see what no one has seen on this car yet. We're going to close the hood today, and it's going to close for sure. So we're just doing a bit of a run in, let it warm up, let it get rid of a little bit of its residue, and top up the coolant here. So we'll take care of that. You know, Corvettes are weird. There's the filler neck. Tell me how I'm going to hit the hull from here. It's going to go everywhere. So I use this funnel, and I just pour it in nice and slow. I've been filling the cooling system since I got up this morning to give it a chance to work its way through. I've got to hook up all the heater system next. I've just put a bypass in, and I'll show you. For now, I put a bypass. I've got air conditioning to put back in and close up the heater box. Then I'll be running my coolant hoses over to the heater, because in Canada, to drive on Ontario highways, you have to have a vehicle that can make defrost. That means it can defrost the front windshield with heat. Even though this is not a car you drive in the winter, but that is a safety issue, and you will not get a safety certificate unless it has defrost capabilities. So I have the heater system all the way in, but now I need to put the air conditioning side of it together. So it's drivable the way I have it set up right now, which is good, because putting the air conditioning back in is going to be a couple of stage process. It's thirsty. Well, I drained it right out to do the intake manifold, so, and it's a big system. It's a big cooling system in here. It has what I call a real radiator. This is like a 3-core. So the secret is on these, or any car, don't fill it completely to the top. Fill it till you can see it and then stop. Let the system circulate, because if you fill it right up to the neck here, coolant expands, and then you have air pockets coming out, and guess what happens? It comes up and it gushes and it goes everywhere. So to avoid that, this is how I do it. I'm not going to be in an overheat situation, because I've got pretty much 3/4 or better of the coolant that I took out. It's back in. So thermostat should be open now, and it is. So now we're going to do our transmission, and then once the system has equalized, then I'll recheck the timing and adjust it accordingly, and then I'll get in there and readjust the carburetor. And I'm just checking the vacuum advance. The advance is working. So, and I know I'll probably have to change the base timing a little bit. So you have to disconnect your vacuum advance, fellas, to check your base timing. And then I have a time, I'll do that segment for you, and Skippy and I will record it, because it is technical. And you got to do timing first, your base timing, your advanced timing, then you set your carburetor, not in the reverse order. So we'll do a video on that, but I need to get my transmission topped up right now. We've got a seal that's leaking, and it's leaking because the car has sat so much. So I'm putting in my favorite flavor. They don't sponsor the show or our broadcasts or our YouTube channel, but I've found this to be a very good source to, it's not gonna seal like a pan gasket leak. It's good for the seals in the transmission, and this transmission is rebuilt. And it doesn't have a whole lot of mileage on it at all. So we got to revitalize the seal. And it needs to warm up. The fluids need to warm up before you just pound this in here. So that's the other reason for doing the run-in. Then I'll do the final setup. Then we should be in good shape from there. All going well, we'll be in good shape. Right, Skippy? Yeah. So we'll see, that's about half. We'll see how we're doing here. Take your time on this process, because a lot of times you guys out there are overfilling on the transmission. You don't want to overfill, you don't want to underfill. And this stuff, it's like stinking honey, as you can see. It takes a bit to make its way down there. Usually I put it in hot water but I did not today. It helps it flow. So it's definitely hot. Definitely. I think it's getting foggy in here. Are you all right? You feel fake, Skippy? He's going down. No, he's not. But what I do need to do is I do need to put it in gear, but I'm not going to because I'm attached by the hood to the lift. And I do not want to tear it out. But I do know that I was down at the ad mark that I am going to need a fair amount of that product in there. So stay there. I'll be right back. I got to get something. This will help me a lot more because I need to get more of this in there, and it's going to take a while to go down. Chug-a-lug. So, and as I mentioned, the coolant is right at the filler neck. I don't want to put any more in because it will splash it all over the floor of the shop and all over the motor, and it makes just a big mess to clean up. I call this stuff the jam. Don't you think it looks like jam? Some kind of banana split sauce. Except I don't think it's going to be very nice. So I'm going to say about that much is good. That'll put us in the good zone. We lost about a liter over a period of time. The seal was it was good, and then it started dripping just slightly. So hopefully this takes care of it and we'll be in good shape. You know, the problem is when you have these cars and you don't use them, seals dry out, gaskets dry out. It really is critical that you get out there and you use it. And if you're not going to use it, then you're better off just get rid of it. Get rid of it because they're meant to be driven. That's what I'm trying to say. They really are meant to be driven. And that is really the truth. You know, it's nice to have them in the garage and you can look at them, but it is much better to get them out there on the road and use it. Okay, Skippy, I think we're going to turn it off at this point, and we're going to close. I'm going to disconnect it, and we're going to see if the hood closes. So I'm coming over there. Stay where you are till I come where you're to. Before we gas ourselves to death. See, it just puked all over. That's what I didn't want to happen. So what I should have done was, my mistake. So now I'll have a mess to clean up. What was that? Best thing, while it's running, put the cap on. Oh, that's interesting. All right, we'll get another towel. And we'll clean that up. Clean this up. Okay, we're good. Now, the cap is on. Any pressure that's coming up, I've got the overflow bottle hooked up, and see it's burbling back in there now, so it's pushing the air out. So that was my error. Before I shut it off, just make sure you put your cap on while it's running, because it will. The air's gonna come up and it'll make a mess. It's made a bit of a mess, but this car's got to be washed down when we're done. There's a lot of dust on it pretty much everywhere you look, but I've got the overflow connected here, so it can't go much further. So it'll burble back, and then overnight the system will equalize, and then you just look at this mark here, and then you can, what I generally do is, when the system starts to cool down, it's pushing the coolant out right now and into the bottle, and when the engine cools down, it will suck this coolant out of here and put it back into the radiator. So then the system will equalize itself now. So we'll just let this drain down. I put about two-thirds of that bottle in there, and it was showing me on the stick that we were down. Hey, something cut me. Anyways, I'm leaking. We were at the add mark, and here's the full mark. So I put two-thirds at least out of that Lucas transmission lube and sealant. So we'll give that a chance to circulate through there, because once you put it in, it needs to circulate through there and get hot. So that's the key. That's the key to that. So I'm going to wash my hands and get this sticky honey-like apparatus off of me, and I'll take this funnel out of here, put the dipstick back in, and then we're going to see, after all this work, will the hood close? That's my question. So, I can't feel my nose. It's not quite that bad, but yeah, it's gassy. It's a little gassy. And I know for sure that I can make this run even better yet. I know for sure. We don't have a coolant leak. That's corrected. We're making headway, finally. And that's one of the reasons why on this project I've had to walk away from it a few times, because it's just like 2 steps forward, 10 steps backwards. And we're now starting to make some headway. So it's encouraging when you see that happening. It's discouraging when you can't seem to get it together. You're trying, but every time you turn around, there's another list of things to do. So we've come this far. Let's see if the hood's going to close. We got to remove the blankets and stuff. And this car is fully painted. It's ready to go to the car show. And I still have work to do yet. But I'll be working on once I'm finished here, I'll be working on, let's get the speedo hooked up. Let's get the rest of the heater controls installed, the factory radio. And once all the console's back in, then it's carpet time. It's time to lay down the carpet. I'm going to put down sound deadening material first. So we'll show you that step. It's well worth it to do it. Trust me. Okay, so let's pause here, and I'll wash my hands, and we'll get the blankets off, and then you'll be the first ones here in the Car Connection Workshop to see, will the hood close or won't it after all this work? So we will be back in a few moments, and we'll bring you in on the last few minutes of the segment, and then we'll say our goodbyes until next time. So stick around. We're not quite done yet.